Hi.
I can't hear you. I don't know if you're speaking, Philip.
Yes, hello. How are
Oh
you?
no, I can hear you now. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Is it time now? It's 8 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock in Tenerife.
Yes. 2 o'clock in Tenerife.
4 o'clock.
Hello, Katja. Is that how I pronounce your name?
Yeah, hey, Katja.
Katja.
Katya. Hello, Katya.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Where is everyone in the world? Where are you calling in from?
Hey, Mars.
Hello, I'm out and about in London, but yeah, on the go. Happy to join the call.
Hello, Mars from London.
There is a little issue. The link that is shared on Telegram, it has a trailing slash. So when I first click on the link, I got some error from Zoom. Maybe you can edit the message and remove this trailing slash. It breaks the URL.
In the Telegram group.
Hi, Jordan.
Hi, Charlotte. Hi, everyone.
Mm.
I'm just gonna edit that message and wait a few more minutes for people to come in.
Hi, Jonathan from Uganda.
Manuel from Liberia also.
Hello, Emmanuel. Wow.
Okay, I say we start and then people can come in as they come in.
And Lisa Maria, if you want to make me an admin as well, and then if you're talking, I can let people in if they're coming.
Are people able to put videos on who have videos off? I want to meet you and see your faces.
I'm actually out and about. I need to move from one location to another, so I will. Uh, you have a little bit of me right now, but for the rest of the call, I'll be listen only. Okay.
This is a call about Aridani to introduce what it is and also about the scholarships that we are being sponsored by Artizen for. So can everyone hear me okay? Yes.
Yes.
So the other day, Renee actually introduced us on the call and he said a retreat in the Canary Islands. And Aridani is not a retreat. I want to make that clear. It's a training. It's a training for creators. And it's an intensive training. It's a deeply transformational training where we're basically going to be going through transformational processes to become more and more able to be at source for whatever we want to create, to really come out of victimhood and examine any of the thought where the beliefs, the assumptions, or the limitations that we think that would keep us hold us back from creating what we want to exist in the world. And we're going to look at those things. We're going to get the magnifying glass out and we're going to look at those things together. And as a team, be like, okay, how do we transform this? How do we like use the blocks for fuel, for transformation to be able to create something different? And so the Aridani is it's a commitment. It's really a commitment to yourself and a commitment to the team. And that's why we ask people to come like with a full-time kind of schedule when you're there, like availability. And the first 2 weeks, it's really, really full time because we're going to be doing trainings. One training is called Expand the Box, and another training is called a Possibility Lab. And these are like from 9 in the morning till 10 at night, really intensive, kind of doing emotional healing processes. We're going to be doing initiations, and we're going to be doing a lot of different practices to upgrade thoughtware, which is the way we used to think, what we used to think with like the maps we've been given by our birth culture or birth country of the way things are in the world. And we're going to examine those and we're going to upgrade them if we choose to do so. If we see that a new thought map could give us more more empowerment, more freedom, and if anyone has any questions, please just speak them out. And so I might be
Miss
saying
Maria,
what, yes.
will you slow down just a little?
Oh, I thought I was going really slow. I will. I'm going slow for me. So the trainings is really gonna build the soil for the next 4.5 weeks that we're gonna live together in a living laboratory and playground on the land. Because I'm not talking about a creation of just anything. Aridani is really for people who want to create regenerative culture, who want to create something outside of modern culture, outside of the status quo, outside of the capitalistic ecocidal culture, which is currently kind of killing life on planet Earth. And they want to create something different. And that's what Aridani is for, that kind of creator who wants to create a different kind of culture, a culture where humans thrive and where the planet thrives, because we are one and the same. There's no separation. And so how can we flourish alongside the planet? And that's what the Living Laboratory is for, to see, even on a small scale, where am I beating myself up? Where am I abusing myself? Where am I pressuring myself? Where am I going into overwhelm and victimhood? And I have a team to tell me my blind spots, to tell me what I could try instead, and to do experiments, to really like start doing all different kinds of experiments together to have a different experience of ourselves. And that's the really exciting part for me is being together, and it's not just talking about it, but doing it, really living it. And we had our first Aridani last year. It was a 1 month villaging experiment. It was really fabulous, and there's lots of testimonials about it. And I won't go too much into that now. What I want to go into on this call is the logistics and then to talk about the scholarship. And I want to know, does anyone have any questions up until now about Aridani itself, the training?
No, no questions, but a complete agreement and alliance with what you're doing. My name also is Sustaina Claus, the Sustainability Santa Claus. Some of you may have seen me at UN conferences and so on. So what you're speaking about is exactly what we're trying to do, from online to offline to real life in the world, in conscience land. So if I can be of any assistance, if I can participate or contribute in any way, that's what I'm here for. And I really appreciate what you're doing. It's exactly what we need in the world. So I'll stop talking now, but I'm so excited.
I'm very glad you're here.
go. I want to add to what you said as well, Lisa Maria, in that what I want to bring to Aridani is on top of everything that you've said, Lisa Maria, is that to really explore within the 5 bodies that we have, the physical, the mental, the emotional, the energetic, and what we would call the archetypal body, and how we can move through healing through all those 5 bodies to move from survival into thrival. So what Aridani is really about, what comes after survival. You've done healing and you're in this place and you're like, yeah, great, now what? And this is what Aridani is about exploring. And within the 5 bodies of evolving and transforming, reinventing all the 5 bodies that we have. And we have amazing land here that has, like, we've been nourishing the land has been nourishing us. There's this connection that's happening, and that also is a big part of the training.
Yeah, because we talk about regeneration and the planet thriving, and for me it wouldn't make sense to then go and do this training in a building. So that's why the training is on the land, in collaboration with the land. We actually sleep outside. You know, if you want to sleep in a tent, you also can, but the idea would be everyone builds their own nest, and that's part of like one of the first initiations, because it's really about getting this really inner awareness, not just in your mind, but in your bodies, that you can source anything. You can source food, you can source shelter, you can source village, you can source connection, you can source love, you can source money, whatever it is that you need. And that we're really doing the work to get back this authority that we've given away to governments and to laws, to really sense, what's my authority? What do I want? What's the culture that I would create? How do I want to live? And what do I need? And I don't need to depend on anyone else. I will create it. And so even small things like creating our own bowls and spoons and our own like little cabins to live in, really, like, it lands in this way in your bodies of empowerment and being like, wow, I can do anything. I could go anywhere and I would be okay. And then I get to play with other adults who are empowered creators. And then what are we going to create? How are we going to play together? Because we came to this planet to play and to have fun and frolic and dance and you know, like, let what our missions come alive. Not to save the world, but really just to have the best time, have like the most nourishing, the most fulfilling lives. And that's what Aridani is about. It's not about trying to save the world or being martyrs and sacrificing ourselves. It's about having the most juicy, alive, wonderful time playing on this glorious planet that we got to be born onto. And say, like, okay, modern culture, that doesn't work for me. That linear life menu, selling my time for money, I don't want that. Okay, so what do you want? Let's create it. Let's go for it. You know, what do you need? You have a team. What's in your way? And that's really the questions. It's going to be a co-created experience, because there's no hierarchy. We're a team. There's no like, it's not school. It's really we are the ones that are holding space, and we get to practice doing that together.
Yeah, yes. And we're really contexted. Somos is context. Somos is where Aridani will happen. And Somos is contexted in radical responsibility. And we will also be going through the layers and the different levels of responsibility to be able to get to function from that place of radical responsibility, because radical responsibility leads to generosity and it leads to freedom. And there was something else I was going to say and now I've forgotten.
Okay, so we decided when we started this collaboration with Renee, with Artizen, we could have decided to do about 7 scholarships that were full scholarships, or we could do more scholarships for more people that were not full scholarships, that were part scholarships. And we decided to fund more people to come as part scholarships, because we've discovered that if we pay for the whole thing, people in past experience, people, they don't take it seriously. They don't really make the space in their life for it. And they don't, it's not like they're not really committing. And so this isn't, even the scholarship isn't free. It's not a freebie. It's because we value your skills and your talent and your qualities and your ideas more than money. It's like, how can you support Artizen and the funds to thrive? So that Artizen isn't like something that is so dependent on outside funding, but that can also become more regenerative. And so that we as a community, we give back to Artizen and see how could we get the funds to really to get going. And so that's why the scholarship is an exchange of like challenges of how can we make Artizen more regenerative. And then it's up to $1,500 is the scholarship. And then Aridani wouldn't cover flights, and it does not cover food. And Aridani is 2,100 euros. So the rest of those things you would have to cover yourselves. And this is a team. If you do want to go for it and you want to go for it with the scholarship and applying for Aridani, then you have a team, and it's never money that you're lacking, it's just possibility. So you have a possibility team, and we'll have fun together, we'll think of ideas, and really that one of the money secrets I've discovered is that you don't know how you're going to do it beforehand. If you want something, you just decide you're coming, you commit to it, and that you let the universe adapt to your decision, because you know you're coming. There's no two ways around it, even if you have to walk there. And then you'll see how the universe will just start bringing you the resources that you need to be able to go. Has anyone else ever had an experience like this, when you've just decided you're going, you don't know how you're going to do it, you have no idea, but you can't know before. You just have to say, do you know what? I'm bored enough of, living in this way. I really want to work on my own transformation, because it's going to be a confronting, transformative, very probably at times uncomfortable training. It's not a relaxing retreat. We're going to get in there, we're going to dig in, we're going to putting stuff out on the table. We're going to be looking into our underworld, into our unconscious purposes. And so it's really about saying, I want this. I really want this. I'm coming. And then, we'll meet. We can meet weekly and say, okay, what do you need? What ideas do you have? What haven't you tried? And it's one of the challenges. It's the first challenge, actually, to source the money to come to Aridani. And it's also a very important part of the process as a creator, as a source of whatever you need in your life.
As an initiation into radical responsibility as well. It's like the stepping stones. And so Aridani is 2,100. And the scholarship is up to $1,500.
Yes.
Dollars. And so then on top of that, you will need your flights and money for food, which will be shared within the community. But I just wanted to make that clear. Aridani is 2,100. You can get up to $1,500. So Aridani is 2,100 euros. And you can get up to $1,500 of sponsorship money towards that. So that, like, just so it's clear for you all to know that there's the gap for you.
Does anyone have any questions for now?
Okay, yeah, Jim, I have a question. Can I be heard? I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Yes.
Go for it.
Okay, so I'm your Green Pill Nigeria steward, and then we are working on Tech and Sun Hub, which is a region hub in Africa. We position it in universities where we provide a 24/7 internet and the power access to students. that may not be able to have access to this. And then it is a community regenerative hub, and then we have been doing this for free. So I want to ask a question regarding this scholarship. I want to be clear on finance because I know that whatever you want is somewhere in the world also wanting you, right? So you have to work towards this, right? And then, but you have to make plans toward it. So I want to be clear on the finances, right? If the program is 2001 and then the scholarship is 1005, that means that this scholarship of 1005 is we are going to take it away from the 2001, right? For us to have 600, if we are to get this, then that is 600, so to say. Then you have to figure in your flight, which I know that from where I am to Canary should be somewhere 2000, right? That should be 2006 on my end. And then I have to figure out something about feeding, right? So this may take my budget to 3000 or 3005. So I want to be clear on this. I don't know if my calculation is right in terms of what the scholarship is and then what Artizen may be covering for someone like me. Thank you.
And yes, thank you for your question. So what I'm hearing you is saying is that you're figuring out exactly what it's going to cost you, and that altogether it's going to cost you something in the region of 3,500 was what I heard.
Yeah, if we factor in the 1005, if we have 1005 from Artizen, right? So
yeah, and any money that you get from scholarship, and it's up to 1,500, so it might not be 1,500, and Lisa Maria will go into that in a second, but the 1,500 will go directly to Aridani. So it won't be that you will get your scholarship money and then it will come to us. It will come directly to us.
Okay, yeah, that's also in line with what I'm asking. If the ticket is for 2001, and then let's assume, we are not assuming that I have a scholarship of 1005, that means that I have a deficit of 600, right?
Yes.
Okay. Noted. Thank you.
Yeah.
Really not about doing it by yourself. Like if you're freaking out and you're thinking, I really want to come and I don't know how I'm going to do it, this is a team for that. And really, team is one of the most powerful and valuable resources I've ever discovered. And so I'm really encouraging you all, and I can't make you do it. You know, it's up to you to use the team and say, hey, I want to come and I don't know how I'm going to do it. Do you have possibilities for me? Will you give me some ideas? Will you support me? Will you jump on a call with me? And really use each other to support you in this endeavor. If you decide, you know, if you're really feeling the call and you're like, do you know what? This is for me. I need to come. I'm going to that. And so that's the part of the commitment. And that's really the most it's not difficult, but that's the biggest leap. Really, after that, it's just logistics. But that's the part of saying, I'm going, I'm doing this for myself. And it might not be everyone's cup of tea. It might not be everyone's next step. Maybe something smaller would be the next step. And that would be for you to decide. And you'll feel it in your bodies. So that's the invitation, is to feel into it. Is the tingling happening? Are you lit up? Are you coming alive? Is this what you want? Do you want to have this experience? Because Aridani, it's not for people who are really in a state of survival right now. And most of us still are to some extent, but it's that you would be ready right now to put something at the center of your life other than survival, that you want to commit to putting something else at the center of your life, like creation or creating something different in the world, but it would be bigger than you, so that your main preoccupation isn't, I need to be okay, because then it would be a very confronting training, because a lot of the stuff that we're going to do is going to shake a lot of your core beliefs and core structures. And if your main preoccupation is like your own safety, which is an illusion in terms of, it's going to be physically very safe, but some things might happen that are triggering, then you'll have this anchor. You'll have this real anchor of like, I care more about becoming the person that can create something different in the world. Like, that's my priority. That's what I have at the center of my life. And so it's just about being really honest in yourself of, is that where I am? And is that am I ready to make that commitment to myself of, I'm ready to put my mission at my center of my life. I'm ready to play. And I'm bored enough of just worrying about, am I okay? And it might not be where everyone is. And that it really isn't bad or good. Either one isn't bad or good. It's just that's what Aridani's for. And there might be other places that are for more like, restoration and nervous system regulation. And that's not what Aridani is. It's wild, it's alive, it's transformative, it's experimental, it can be confronting, and I love it. I wouldn't be doing anything else, but yeah, that's.
Can I just add something to what you're saying?
Yes, please.
Maybe one thing that a lot of people, especially today in this world that we're living in, they feel alone. They feel that they're surviving by themselves. And I think what you're pointing out here is that there is no living by yourself. We can't survive by ourselves. But we've been conditioned by our governments, by our, consumer society and all the rest of it, and our duplication of toasters and refrigerators, that we need to have our own survival mechanism. And I think it's just wrong, first of all. And the second thing is, what I'm understanding about Andani is that that's what you're illustrating, is that you need other people. Now, how do we learn to live with other people? And how do we become our creative selves as a member of a community? It's a temporary community, but from what I'm understanding from what Lisa Maria is saying, is that it's a transformative experience. Just a little aside, I've just spent the last 6 months crossing the Amazon through the Andes. Now I'm in Colombia, and it's not been easy, I can tell you. And it's been very, very challenging financially, but I'm here, and I didn't know how I was going to get here. And I think that's what Lisa Marie is pointing out, is that, and Charlotte are pointing out, is that we can't plan everything. We've got to move. We've got to find new experiences and encounter new people and circumstances. And that's how it's not survival. It's what did you say, Lisa Maria? Thrival?
Charlotte said thrival. Yeah.
Oh, Charlotte. Yeah, Charlotte said thrival. And I love that word. That's a new one for me, but it's a great one, And so that's my little contribution, or my comment, is that I think I share many people's fears of, what's going to come next, and how do I pay for it, and, how am I going to do that? But we're all here until we're not here. And while you're here, appreciate it and try to make as many connections and build your team, even if it's temporary. Build your team in every moment you are alive. That's my comment.
Thank you, Philip.
Yeah, go. Woo! I love it.
Does anyone else want to share anything? Is anything coming up for anyone else? Any fears, any doubts, any excitement?
Can I ask people what they want to do? Are people working on projects themselves, and they're looking for team, they're looking for network, they're looking for how their ideas get spread? Is there anyone on the call? I know I do, but I'm not going to monopolize the call. What do people want to do with their lives going forward?
Hey. Yeah, Katja here. I'm from Slovenia. Super nice. Thank you for this introduction. I have one question. Maybe it's just that I didn't really went into it a lot, but I would like to know more about your background, about the SOMOS, or maybe the facilitators that are gonna facilitate. I know it's community based, but still, maybe I would like to know more the context. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I love your question. I will go. So SOMOS is an Arkan Invention Center, and we have 25,000 square meters of very wild land. And an Arkan Invention Center is somewhere where adults, particularly, and in the case of Aridani, can come and play. And it's like an adult playground to discover like who you are, like what discover your purpose and take off the layers. And also it's a place where we have had and are having trainings that you also, it's practical, it's experiential, that you come here and you have experiences that you leave with, so that when you come to someone and you leave, it's not just a theory that you have in your head, but it's something that's actually in action, in starting. And we've been working with weekly women's possibility teams in person. Lisa Maria is doing stuff online. I do hypnotherapy work online. And my personal background is I've been 20 years as a therapist, and the last we've had Lisa Maria and I were the ones that originally purchased Somos 3 years ago, and we've been turning it into this Arkan Invention Center since. We have 3 other people currently that live here permanently, to help like speak to the land, shape the land the way that it wants to be shaped. And then we have the trainings, which I'm going to now hand over to Lisa Maria.
2 trainings that Aridani begins with are facilitated by a trainer called Vera Franco. Vera Franco is it's an external training that that we like it's part of the pack, but we pay for it. It's not like going straight to Aridani. And each of these trainings usually costs 850 to 1,000 euros. So we've actually got a discount to be able to offer them for Aridani. And the first training is called Expand the Box, and the second one is called Possibility Lab. And this is part of a game world called Possibility Management, which is a field of research and researchers who are on the cutting edge of how do we create new cultures? Like, what's the kind of evolution that human beings need to go through to actually start to create new systems and new ways of living on the planet? And so they're really researching stuff like we've lost a lot of the adulthood initiations that used to be very prevalent in tribes. So there's a lot of initiations, but like that have been adapted to the modern world and it's really all about getting your agency, getting your authority, and reawakening the creative genius that each of us is. And I don't know if you've heard of this study that they did with children, where basically all children have the ability to think in really non-linear ways. And then as we go through the school system, we start to be like, oh, okay, there's just this one way of living. And so the Expand the Box really it puts into question that and offers tools for seeing life through a different lens and choosing the lens through which you see life, so that you can look at the world and say, do I really want to sell my time for money? Would I create a culture where there was even a material value exchange? You know, what are the values that I want to live by? And to not be like, oh, we're already screwed, you know, the world is already full, and I can't do anything different, because this is just the way it is. Because government, countries, laws, all of these things are just made up. We just made them up. Money, it's just made up. And so it's really like, what do you want to make up? Do you celebrate Christmas because you really care about the birth of Jesus Christ? Or what do you want to celebrate? And so these are the kind of questions, and we do initiations and emotional healing. We do a lot of emotional work as well, because the things that usually come up as we start to go to the edge of the known is big fears, like a lot of big fears. And so a huge part of the work is lowering the numbness bar, like deciding not to be numb anymore to what's happening in the world, so that we can start to heal whatever's in the way, like that would stop us from living exactly how we want to live and creating what we want to create, and being like really alive and enjoying like the juiciness of life. And like, I don't know about you, but I developed a lot of strategies to be numb, to survive in modern culture the way it is now. And so I'm enjoying my life a lot more now that I'm like learning how to keep like denumbing and just feeling what I'm feeling, and have like creating that connection with my feelings and my heart. And so I think modern culture can only like continue the way it's continuing because people don't feel, because they're numb. And so that's why it's so important that we mature in our emotional bodies. It's part of becoming an adult, which is what the trainings are about. So that we don't just create war when there's a reactivity. We don't make the other person wrong and then blame them, but we take responsibility for my feelings, for my emotions, my reactivity, my triggers, and so that I can create more love in the world, more connection, more generosity, even with a person that I think is my enemy. How can I love them too and be like, I think it's in, so that there's, you know, not creating war, which is just adolescent, you know, people in adult bodies, but they're just emotionally children who are just like, I'm right and you're wrong, and therefore I have the right to kill you. And so, you know, what else is possible? And one of the first steps is maturing the emotional body so that you don't have to blame other people for your reactivity. So that's also part of the work. I don't know if you wanted such a detailed explanation, but I can talk about it all day. And so it's, yeah, that's a little bit about it. And their possibility management, they've been going for 50, 60 years. It's really wonderful stuff. And then the rest of the training is facilitated by Charlotte and me. And we will be doing, at the beginning, it might be a little bit more structured, but really it's not about we're teachers or coaches or we're showing you anything. This is a training about you like getting your own authority back and finding your own answers and being at source, and then us coming together as adults, as creators, and saying like, how do we want to spend our time together? How can we be of service to each other in this time together? How do we want to live? How do we want to create a village together of creators? And then, you know, people can, it's a co-creation from that point onwards. It's like, okay, I'm going to hold space for this tomorrow at this time. I want to create, we have a pottery wheel. I want to create pottery, or I want to go and host an event in the town, or I'm creating this event. I want ideas on how can I get the funding for it, or, you know, and that it comes from your necessity. The training comes.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you. What else? Yeah, I think that's it for now. I'm super I'm excited, I think. Yeah. It's what I'm looking for.
And why? What are you looking for, Katja?
Yeah, I'm looking for a space where there is a community, you know, when you can expand your vision and expand your thoughts and just get like how to say, a new input now, if that's the correct expression. And I've been developing my thing for a while now, and I live here on a farm. You see, in nature, it's amazing, but it's also, you know, a bit lonely at times. Or let's say, I know I need a community. I know I need people to make my vision come true. It's just no other way. So, yeah. And since I've been experiencing community life and some projects and all this crazy stuff that can happen in a community, I kind of miss that. So, yeah, That's it. Yeah.
Cool.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
The physical location, you mentioned a village. You said that there was a village nearby. What I haven't looked on a map yet, but where, like, how many minutes to walk to the village and that kind of stuff. What is the what's the Katia was speaking about living on a farm, like, and I'm living out in the countryside in Colombia. It's lonely, and sometimes when you're with a group for a long time, you need a little bit of a break. You want to see the outside world a little bit. So can you describe a little bit about what the daily or weekly adventure walking around would be?
Okay.
What it's near, what you can see,
Okay, yeah, I can do. Yeah, I can do. So I live here in Slovenia. It's a small country near Italy, Croatia, Austria. I live here more in the southeast, and I am actually living in a village. So I am part of a village, and here in Slovenia, this concept of eco-village is very present. It's just that we lost the connection and we lost the the knowing of it. So we have neighbors. I live here with my friend, and with neighbors, we help each other. We go for picking up the grapes in the autumn, or we are, how do you call that, when when they cut the meadows, and all these kind of old school things that farmers did. So in that sense, I feel connected, and I am part of the village, and whatever help you need with some machinery or something for the farm, we always help each other. But in terms of like my philosophy of life and my concept, in that case you can feel lonely because there are not many, like, let's say, younger people around you that can support or join your vision. And currently I have a little job. I work in a school with kids from 2 until 5 years old, which is super nice. It's challenging, but also like it's super nice. So I go there every morning until 2-3 o'clock, and then I'm managing a little flower farm, which I'm trying to in the future build a little business for me.
Cool.
Yeah, and we are developing here different stuff, food forest, agroforestry system. My partner has also his own company where they help people establish like ecosystems based on agroforestry and food forests. So it's just life with nature, in nature, but there are humans missing. So
the missing humans. I think that's what Danny seems to be about. Find those humans.
Find those, but also find within myself.
I'm going to stop you there, Katja, just because of the time. In terms of the weekly schedule and the daily schedule of Somos, it will depend. The first 2 weeks are very structured, and the rest of the time will depend on us. We will co-create that together. And I do ask that, like, it's okay if you have some weekly calls, but that it's not like it wouldn't be something that you would do together with a full-time job. That's not like we want people to have like more or less full availability. And I have weekly calls. Like, that's not a problem. You might miss a session, and that would be the consequence. Like, it's really like we're responsible adults, so nothing is obligatory. It's really, you create your experience as well. But the first 2 weeks are really very structured, so it's really not even space for calls. So to have that in mind, and then the rest of the time there's room to negotiate. Like, I want to have this call on this day, or I want this amount of time to do work on my own projects, and there will be spaces to work on our own projects. That's going to be also an important part of the training, and it will end with a 3-day festival. So we're going to create that festival together, and it's a celebration for us to open the doors also to the general public, and to like create a celebration. And how do we celebrate? What's the way that we want to celebrate, and as a village? And that's what we would be asking. And we live really close to a town, Philip. So you can walk to a shop, you can walk 20, 15 minutes to a really lovely old historic town with plenty of cafes and restaurants and shops. And we're 20 minutes away from the beach. And so you can also go to the beach in the afternoon. It's a wonderful black sand beach, very like natural and secluded. And I really love this beach. So and there'll be plenty of time for adventure days and exploring the island. The island really is incredibly beautiful and diverse. Hello, Baranina.
Hello. We missed it. We mixed up the times a little bit. We're here now.
You're here now. Welcome. And then the scholarship. I wanted to speak about the scholarship and the challenges. So the scholarship is really about, it's not like a job, like, oh, now I have to complete these challenges. It's really like, do you love Artizen? Do you want to support Artizen? And then how do you want to support it? And then you can propose and say, this is the way that I would really love to flow power and support Artizen, because I want Artizen to continue to thrive. And I know Rene is a ninja at getting funding, but it might happen that one day, he even said to me the other day, if I don't continue to show that Artizen also can be regenerative, I might not be able to receive the funding, because the investors, they want to see that this is also a platform that can sustain itself and that can generate funding. So that's why I've been really thinking of ideas of how can I support the funds? How can we get people excited about the funds? Because right now it's really everyone. Why would you put money into a fund when you can put it in your own project? Like, it doesn't, for most people, you would just put it in your own project if you're going to be asking people for money, which I totally get. And so I'm like brainstorming of how can it be fun? How can it be like playful and how could people want to support the funds? And so that's where the idea comes from of creating this scholarship, is that people you would think of ideas, and then you could propose, and you could do the ideas that I've thought up, or you could propose your own, and then you can decide how much time and energy do you want to commit. And I'm not going to be checking up on you like spying, and it's really, you can be honest and adult about how much energy and time you want to put into it, and it will also be visible. Like the results that you create will be visible, and then we would negotiate within that about how much scholarship you would receive, depending on what's the real commitment that you want to put into it. And I'm not talking about hours and hours and hours, but just putting some energy into how could I get this thing going? And it might be like, the funds don't work. I'm going to speak to Rene and give him some other ideas, or whatever it is. You're all these incredible creators with these projects. So looking at the platform of Artizen, the invitation is really like, how can this platform become more regenerative with a higher level of responsibility? So, yeah.
And will you say a little bit more about the structure? Like how it goes?
So the scholarships range from $500 to $1,500, and I've already put in the registration form lots of different ideas, and then you would send me an email, or we would jump on a call, and you would tell me the things. I'm going to make a video, I'm going to support this fund, and the things that you want to do, and more or less how much time and energy you want to commit to it in the next 2 months. And then based on that, we would award you a scholarship, and it would be a conversation, a co-creation.
So then they would then go off after having that conversation with you and do those activities they said they want to do, and then come back to you after 2 months, and then to review, okay, great, this happened, this didn't happen, and this is how it happened, and kind of like bringing it all together?
It would be before coming to Aridani. So you like it's ongoing. Like we're in the team and you can say this is what I've done so far and this has been working and this hasn't been working. And so I haven't thought up a system yet. And I really enjoyed your question, Keegan, of how are we gonna measure this? And I want to explore that with you. And mostly because what we're all about is radical responsibility. It's about really just speaking as adults and you saying, I'm going to do this and I'm putting this effort in and maybe it didn't work or it didn't have this result, but I'm here. I'm here and I want to support them. And then also taking into account your own financial situation and how much support you need and, being honest about that. That's the kind of conversations I want to have with people so that the support can really reach the people that really, I don't want to say need it because I don't think anyone needs it more than anyone else, but yeah, like the people that really want it and that want to support Artizen and take the time to do that.
And also committed to themselves and stepping into, again, it comes back to the radical responsibility of yes, you don't have the money, but you have this other value, which is enabling you to have the money that you need to do what you want to do with your life.
Anyone have any more questions about the scholarship?
I have just I don't know if it's a question, but something that comes up to me is like to not do it alone, to make it a really fun team game. So like we can really collaborate on making those games really fun and keeping each other accountable, so that if I go on the streets and just take as a challenge to speak with people about Artizen, you can do it simultaneously in the other side of the world, and we can come together and share our experiences. Just make it also that's my edge, is like to really not make it as a job or as an assignment or something I have to do, but something I'm really enjoying and on fire to create. And I love to create with other people. That's my fire. So I would really love to also collaborate with you and think of idea with the team of how can we as a team come together with all of our knowledge and all of our gold and harvest that into something for Artizen.
Yes.
Yoo-hoo!
If I may just add to that brilliant comment, that also brings up something for me. We all have projects. I'm pretty sure everybody on this call has their own thing that they're trying to do. So if this project is earned, if you're earning your support from Artizen and from your operation, if we maybe think of it in terms of how it benefits our projects, we're going out on the street speaking about Artizen, speaking about increasing the support and calling on the generosity of the general population who doesn't generally do anything, but they will support something. We're the ones that are doing stuff, and we're the ones that are making that connection. So in effect, we're kind of like a sales team. And I agree 100% that if we're a global sales team, if we're acting from our own perspectives, from our own projects, and we're not only benefiting Artizen, but we're also we're earning the benefit for our own projects by spreading the message about this centralizing, this effort. It's not centralization, but this effort to assemble funds and assemble a place and assemble the people that will be the next generation, will be creating the world that we want as opposed to the world that we're born into. So it's a benefit to you to promote what we're talking about, because you're not just earning support for and Danny or for you're not just or Artizen, you're not just supporting that, the work of social media posting and so on, you're also connecting, you're testing out how to market your own project. And in that co-marketing, you're benefiting yourself and you're benefiting the project that we're talking about. Oh, can't hear you, Lisa Maria. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's finding the way that it works for you, and that it would benefit you. So there's no problem with seeing it through that lens. I mean, how can the helping Artizen thrive and the funds thrive benefit me, and in the long run maybe, and that's also part of the game. So
you're earning it.
Yeah, and it's something that I'm interested in, because I really do think Artizen is such a wonderful platform, and that's helping so many creators, and I want it to last. I want it to go on. And so for myself, also for my own projects. So yeah, that's what I have about the scholarships. And the next steps, if you're interested in joining, would be to send me a message or an email, and I'll put it all in the chat, and reach out for a Conversiview, which would be like a conversation/interview about joining Aridani, to check in about why you want to come and where you're at, what's the project that you're bringing, and then we would take it from there. And also any proposals or ideas you have about the scholarship, and what are the challenges that you'd like to undertake.
So somebody has put in the chat that they're not able to access the scholarship application form through the link provided in the email.
Okay, maybe they put the wrong one. I will put the right one in the group.
And then in the application form, that is where we could put the calendar link, so that when people have filled out the application form, we put the calendar link in there and people can then book a call.
Yes, I will send it to you also, Katya.
For the people that already registered, will you send also the calendar in the group so we can schedule the meeting separately?
Yes.
I'll send it to you in a private message. Otherwise, we have lots of people booking for a Conversiview without filling out the application form.
And you can also use the group, to make teams, like Bar said, to have I'll be scheduling weekly calls for us to empower each other. But there's also, you use the teams and you can write in there, I've had this idea, what do you think? Or I want to try this, or I tried this and it had this, or I'm making this video, will everyone share it with their contacts? Or I'm writing an article, and yeah. And in everything that you do, you can mention your projects as well. It can also be on there, so that your projects are also gaining more traction. So I will share everything in the group, and I say that that's enough for today. It's a lot of information. And if anyone has any questions, you can just write in the group, or you can call me, or set up a call. Does anyone have anything they want to share or ask before we finish for today?
Can also message.
I have something that maybe you've already explored it in the first half of the call, and you can tell me and we will talk after. But my question is, my fear actually is that I saw in the Telegram group so many people coming from Artizen, and I feel fear that Aridani becomes like a It's Esmeralda, or like a Artizen co-working space. And I just want clarity about that. Like what is the relationship between Artizen and Aridani, and how would a Aridani day look like? Just to have it very clear.
It would be up to you to bring what you want to the experience, and to create the kind of experience that you want. And so I'm not going to dictate how your day will look. the first 2 weeks of the trainings, and there's the scholarships. When I spoke to Renee, what we decided was that not more than 10 people that are already on Artizen, because he wants also to find creators that aren't yet on Artizen, and that's part of the deal. And also it's a training. It isn't a co-working space. I mean, in that sense, the context is established. It's there will be spaces for us to work on our projects, but it isn't about us sitting around on the computer all day. It's really about working on working on ourselves as creators. Like, we're creating ourselves. That's the context of Aridani. And so it's not about sitting on our computers, and there'll be time for that, but it's really about, where am I stuck? What do I need? What's the skill that I need to train, so that when I come out of here, I can go into my project and just do 10 times what I was doing before. And I find that way more efficient, actually, than just trying to work, than having this time to actually work on myself and the things that are keeping me like slow and blocked and stuck. And then when I go back out into the world, suddenly everything that before was so difficult is just comes. It's so easy. And so, yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, Nina, but I'm sure you're going to be there as a guardian, and so is Bar. And I want to do all kinds of experiments, like No Tech, No Time, where we, like, we're really with each other. It's really about being with each other and being in nature, and being in our nature.
And we also did speak quite a lot about it at the beginning of the call. So if you want to watch the recording, there's another aspect to your question there.
Okay.
And I've put a link to the application form and in the chat now for you, Katja, because you're not in Telegram. And also there's more information. It will lead you to the Aridani website as well.
Well, I just want to leave with a final comment. All of this, what we're speaking about, is very important to me personally, because this is the transition. Even I'm an old guy, we're still changing all the time. We're trying to improve ourselves, our lives. And in Conscience Land, our project, our motto is heal yourself, which is clearly what we've been talking about here. Heal your community, which is essentially what we're talking about. How we heal is through community, and heal the earth, which you cannot do if you don't do the previous two. So that's I just feel so great about what everybody has contributed here, and their feelings and their concerns. And for me, it's kind of location. I'm an earth person. I love the sea, I love mountains, and I love people. So I want to see them all together on an island.
It is an island.
Okay. And any last words from anyone that hasn't spoken yet? Like Keegan or Sinespo?
Yeah, I would just like to say I'm just grateful to be here and to be in this energy with you guys. Yeah, I missed the first like half an hour of the call. I was like just sleeping in. But this is very exciting, and I hope to continue to be a part of it. And thank you so much. Like, wow.
Thank you, Keegan.
Hi, I am Sinesipo. I just wanted to say I'm very grateful to have been invited. Your mission is aligned with what I'm currently doing. I've been on my own journey of doing shadow work, and I'm looking to integrate with a community of people who are doing the same thing. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this could potentially go, and just networking and meeting people on the same journey and collaborating on projects. So, yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Before we wrap up, I just have a little thought about the win-win-win, because that's the win for the Somos, a win for the facilitators, win for the community, win for the artisan, win for local people of Orotava and Canary Island. So I'm just observing, yeah, this dynamic. What's in it for me? Why would I want to invest 1 month of my time? And I am enthusiastic, and I like some of the challenges that are in the scholarship form. So I will be playing all full in, all out.
Oh,
Yoo-hoo! Vamos.
I call it winning happening. Win, 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 win. Okay.
Everyone wins. Thank you, guys.
Oh, there's someone else. You want to say something?
Yeah, thank you so much for the wonderful opportunity. I'm from Uganda, East Africa, and I would love to come and attend the training. But the cost, it seems to be a little big for me as like a grassroots youth activist. So, like, I don't know if there is a collaboration or someone who can help out in something on like in one way or the other. Because first of all, flights from Uganda, East Africa to there, it's a little costly. And then if you look on the feeding part of it, and then the top up, it's a little huge. But I can as well do the challenges like pre-recording the audios and all that. First of all, to introduce myself, my name is Jonathan Olwenyi. I am a climate and environmental activist from the indigenous community of Uganda, East Africa. And I also own a community-founded non-government organization working on the environment and social development. Some of the activities that we do are peatland and wetland restoration campaigns, plastic waste and management, and we also train rural farmers on regenerative agricultural methods. We give scholastic materials to the most vulnerable children. We train young adults and girls and women on how to make reusable sanitary towels. We don't stop there. We also plant fruit trees in schools and health centers. So getting those fundings, as far as I'm concerned, in Uganda, East Africa, for the global South, it's really a challenge. So I'll leave that
For
to
you,
the
Jonathan. I have a
yes,
possibility for you. Do you want to hear it?
yes.
That you would write in the Telegram group and write a message about yourself, and that you really want to come, and that you are looking for this amount of money, and you want to, and ask for possibilities from the team, and maybe even organize a call so that, you know, if we get together, I don't know, all these creators in service of this mission of yours, I have no doubt that we're going to think of some really great possibilities to support you to come.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Will you do that?
Thank you. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay.
I wanted to hear from, I don't know if that's your name, but Pindorama Tech.
That
Did you want to say something?
Your sound isn't on.
Okay. Nice to see you anyway.
Yeah.
And Laura, you joined at the end, but I'm glad to see you.
Yes, hello. I had another call scheduled and I'm glad I managed to slip on in here. Hello, team.
Hello and goodbye.
Good.
No, I'm staying.
Okay. But I'm going, so.
Okay. Bye, Charlotte.
Bye,
Thank you,
everyone.
everybody. Nice to meet you
Bye.
all. A real pleasure. Society, environment, economy, and balance. See you soon.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Someone else just
Oh,
came
is
in.
the call
So,
finished?
yeah.
Yes.
But you could stay. You could stay for a few minutes, Laura.
I see.
Someone else just joined the call as well.
Okay.
But I didn't let them in. Did you let them in?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going.
Okay.
Bye.
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 Hello. Is that Loz? Loz? Is that your name? Just
Your
okay.
curtains closed.
My name is Pablo.
Pablo.
Pablo, Bahia.
Okay.
Bahia, Brasil.
Okay.
René, invite-me.
Nice
The
to meet you.
project in Canária, but não posso. Vou escrever.
Okay.
Right.
De acuerdo. Estamos terminando la llamada.
Ok, não, problema não.
But I will send la grabación in the group.
Não estou preocupado com a gravação, não. A gente só quer alinhar depois os nossos projetos que acontecem com as comunidades indígenas aqui do Brasil. Porque o Artizen, para nós, é mais para fortalecer a comunidade indígena, a arte indígena. Entendeu? A gente não está preocupado com tecnologia, com música, não. Só com a agricultura e a arte indígena.
Okay.
Entendeu? Isso pra
I
gente
understood. And we're finishing the call now. So thank you everyone and see you soon.
Valeu.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.
Nada.